Hangout is on air. This Hangout on air is live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an Elegant Weapon episode 170. Ugh. My name's Jay, the Jedi Us, as you see here below you. That's me, this guy. You have to excuse me. I gotta metaphorically flick my bick. Lovely indeed. Welcome back, kids. Isn't this strange going live tonight? That's because of our guest. It's his damn fault. It's Anthony Bachman, and his fancy new Google Chromebook doesn't like the Skypes, so we're going the Google Hangouts route, which has forced us to go live. Anthony,
yes.
Thank you for joining me this evening. Are you in good sorts tonight? Hello to the Anthony. Have we lost the Anthony? We may have lost the Anthony already. This whole Google Hangout thing isn't going well, kids. It's not. Isn't this weird? I'm totally hearing myself at this moment. Isn't this weird? If you can all hear me, I'm still totally hearing myself. That's kind of retarded. Excuse the word. Trying to get that one out of my system too. I'm not sure what happened to Anthony Bachman. We can try and get him back. We can hope that he comes back, because that was the whole point of doing this Google Hangout thing. It's always a disaster, I'm telling you. It's always a disaster. We can try the good old invite thing again. See if the Anthony comes through. Boom. Invite. See what happens when you deviate from the norm. When you deviate from the norm, stuff just goes crazy. Maybe it's ghosts for Halloween. And now Anthony's telling me that his Hangout is unresponsive. This episode's off to a fantastic start. Luckily, I was about to say no one's viewing, but now we have one viewer and just a mass of technical difficulties. So, we may be good again. Are we good again?
There we go, maybe. As soon as you started talking, you locked up on my screen, and my camera stopped working. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? It's like, well, maybe the video will catch up. And you kept talking, and we're doing the intro, and everything's fine, and then the audio stopped as well. I'm like, you motherfucking heck, goddammit, Google.
Well, I kept rambling away while you were gone, and all of a sudden I heard myself talking, and I guess in another window, for some reason, this video started replaying itself again and knocked you out, so I don't know. But I think at this moment we seem to be settled, and it all kind of settled just in time for our one viewer. Hello, welcome tonight, one viewer.
Hello, viewer.
It's good times, and it's almost Halloween. I thought it would be appropriate for you and I to have a little chat 'em up about the Halloween times. I know you're a horror movie freak yourself, Anthony Bachman.
Indeed. They're like, it's probably, I mean, superhero movies is getting close to being its own genre when I organize stuff, but other than that, horror films takes the cake for what I own in my collection.
Now, how do you define a horror film? Because I was thinking about this, and there's like, especially nowadays, because there's in the 80s and stuff, maybe even into the 90s, there's a very clear definition of what a horror movie was. But now, a lot of I think there's a lot of action movies that can be mistaken for horror movies. Do you know what I mean?
I think
like, is Underworld a horror movie?
Oh, hell no. Those are action films that just happen to have vampires and, well, half-ass vampires and pseudo-werewolves in them.
Do you see what I mean, though? Like, it kind of blurs the line, you know?
Now, see, that one I don't think does, because those weren't designed to scare anybody. I think the barest definition is it a film designed to scare? If it's meant to scare you, it's a horror film. Like, the best example is Event Horizon. It's a sci-fi film it's basically a haunted house that takes place in space on a spaceship. That is a fucking horror movie. Event Horizon is scary as shit for most people.
I've heard that a lot. I've never seen it myself, but I've also heard it's like a long get-through, isn't it?
It's a little lengthy, but dude, yeah, Lawrence Fishburne, Jack Noseworthy, like there's some good actors in it, and it's It's creepy as, and the main dude from the original Jurassic Park, whose name is escaping me at the moment.
Oh, who's Sam Neill? Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Sam
that's
Neill.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
Sam Neill as the scientist who created the warp drive engine that sends the Event Horizon on its freaky trip. Yeah, it's basically a haunted house film that takes place in a spaceship.
It's a rad idea, though. I should
Oh
probably
yeah.
sit down and watch that one day. See, when I was a kid, though, I wasn't huge into horror movies. At least they terrified the hell out of me when I was really small. It wasn't until it
But
wasn't
they're
well, a lot of
supposed to.
a lot of it was the grossness. I couldn't handle like gore, and it was such a gory time in the '80s, you know. But that was when I'm talking when I was really young. But then it wasn't until Freddy came along and that whole cerebral idea of being terrified really hooked me in, you know.
And when they started messing with you, yeah, no, dude. When I was 5, that was when I got started. I watched American Wolf in London on HBO.
Right.
And oh yeah, I was hooked. And yeah, you want to talk about gory? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I was thinking back about that the other day because that like American Wolf in London, Event Horizon, those were all movies I had to buy on Blu-ray as soon as I got a Blu-ray player just to see like nice, prettier versions of them. But I was sitting there rewatching American Wolf in London and watching like the Nazi zombie sequence where they come in and kill his family during his dreams, where he's fucking, his mind's haunted as he's turning into the werewolf. I'm like, I fucking watched this when I was a little kid. No wonder I'm so fucking weird.
And it's not till you grow up that you actually realize it's almost a bit of a black comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh, and it is. I still love that movie. Jonathan Landis, like for me, he gets the ultimate pass ever because he did American Wolf in London. It's such a good film.
Oh yeah, and it was terrifying. Like, I think the thing that scared me most was like I'd watch Thriller. Man, I remember being in Kmart and they were showing the making of Thriller, and
Yeah.
I was terrified. That was terrified. Like I couldn't do zombies for years. It wasn't until I grew up that I appreciated the whole, you know. Well, it's also how it's treated. People aren't always just scared and running for a farmhouse anymore. People fight back nowadays. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah, the fighting back. Yeah, like that's its whole own subgenre in horror films.
I tried that Z Nation show. You ever watch that?
I hadn't watched it yet. I think I have it on one of my instant queues somewhere, but I haven't started watching it yet.
I think it was mistaken as to what it was when it came out because it's not like another Walking Dead or anything. It's really campy. Like it's almost like like a Sam Raimi version. It's almost very
Nice.
Xena
Got all
or
the
Hercules.
tongue-in-cheek jokes.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Like one of the fighters is like half infected or something. So he's like a zombie but not a zombie. Like
So like Blade, half vampire,
yeah, but he's gross. Like he looks like a zombie. You know what I mean?
but he can still
Right.
kind of think.
Right. So Blade is not to you a horror movie because that wasn't designed to scare. Or...
Yeah, no, those are action films based on a comic book.
Okay, now take Blade 2, where there is a tiny intention to scare. It's Guillermo, and he likes to freak you out.
He did try to make it definitely scarier, but it's still an action film based on a comic book.
Right, yeah.
Actually, yeah, one of the things that he worked on is the last thing I saw, probably new, that was kind of scary, which was now my brain's not working either. That TV show about vampires that he did.
The Strain. Yeah.
I watched the first season of that. That was a pretty cool show. It was a
what I've
different
heard.
take on the vampire. I mean, it's basically they have him as basically like a parasite worm that can build up and infect, and so it's not a subspecies of human. It's literally a different entity or a different organism that transforms any organism that it becomes parasitic to.
That's a cool idea, man.
It was fucking crazy, and the way they did like the giant alpha vampire, like he is creepy, fucking looking, just weird as hell.
I've heard great shit.
That was a good, fun show.
I especially like I appreciate old horror more than I do now because it's like beyond grotesque, like stuff like Hostel. Like,
yeah, those I don't even think those. I mean, they're the torture porn subgenre, but I'm not even sure if I consider Hostel, horror.
right.
It's just torture. Like it's there's not even much of a story to the Hostel movies, and I own them all,
yeah.
but I'm not a fan.
Well, how about a movie like Jeepers Creepers?
See, Jeepers Creepers is weird too because, like, if you look at 1 and 2, they're totally different films. Because 1, it's literally just the brother falls down the well and finds the hiding place, and they're being kind of haunted by the guy on the road because they see the truck that with the license plate be eating you, and then he kind of hunts them down and then kills the brother and kills the sister. But in the second movie, you got I think it's Lance Hendrickson trying to kill this demon, and then the busload of school kids comes in, and it's the Jeepers Creepers dude hunting and killing and picking these kids off one at a time out of a school bus. They're totally different movies.
Yeah, I seem to remember feeling like it was horror for the first half, and then totally kind of turned into more of a thriller action movie with because that
With
thing
the second
totally.
one?
Well, he reminds me a lot of the hybrid vampire from, was it the third Underworld or the second?
I think you're thinking of the second Blade.
Yeah.
Guillermo's where they opened up.
Wings, the big winged one.
Oh yeah. That's right. There was I thought the guy had wings in the other Underworld.
Yeah.
I think I watched each of the Underworlds once, and I was like, "Yep, good.
Yeah.
Don't need to watch those again."
I love those movies. They're a guilty pleasure for me, man. It's totally the story. Like they're cool movies and they're fun to watch. They're like eye candy, but I dig that story, man. I think
they're good eye candy, and I like the werewolves. My problem is in the first film when Kate Beckinsale's vampire character, who's supposedly this 200-year-old badass, gets shot and passes out from lack of blood. Like, really?
Well,
fucking Lestat spent 2 weeks in a swamp, drained of all blood, surviving on toads, and you couldn't kill him. She took a bullet and fucking whiny crybaby passed out at the wheel. Kiss my ass, she is not a vampire.
Yeah, but plot progression, man. So, okay, well, good poll. Interview with the Vampire. Is that a horror movie?
Oh, that's definitely a horror movie.
Really? See, I don't know, because is it that scary?
I don't think it's. I mean, I don't define it by scary to me. I say if it's designed to scare, and I think that movie was designed to scare, just like that book was originally designed to scare people.
I don't know. I feel like
it's a great, dramatic, intriguing story. But the idea that someone like Lestat is out there, I think, is meant to scare you by the time you get to the end of the story and he kills the reporter.
Okay, that's an interesting take because I never felt it that way because I did read it too, and I don't know. It felt more fantastical. You know what I mean? It felt more. I don't remember ever being really scared at any moment. But then again, that story, that kind of writing's right up my alley. Like when you start messing with time and chronology, you've got me. Like take my goddamn money. I'm so cool with that.
Well, yeah. See, like I said, if it's designed to scare, because I don't say if it scares me, because if it scares me, if that's the definition, then there hasn't been a horror film since,
Well, I see what you're saying.
The first Nightmare on Elm Street, I think, is the last thing that actually scared me, and I saw that when I was 8, and that scared the shit out of me. After that, it was all fun. Like everything past that is like, oh man, slashers, psychological terror, all that shit. I just enjoy it.
I don't think it was designed to scare as much in the typical sense as more of the situations were meant to like Claudia, for example, like the child vampire. It was more
horrifying.
Disturbing. Yeah, it's more disturbing, horrifying than actually like terrifying.
Being scary. The idea of someone trapped in the body of a child for 30 years.
Yeah.
And in her mind, she's 40, but she still has the body of a 10-year-old.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think the most scared I ever was watching a movie ever was in grade 3, I believe. Creepshow 2.
Nice.
And my mom rented it for a birthday party when I was like way too young to be watching that stuff. But we were
no
like,
doubt, the raft. Yeah, straight nudity, a little getting it on, and then the ooze.
Yeah. That was terrifying, especially when you're a kid like me who had a cottage to grow up at, like we had a raft. We had a raft just like that, like 30 feet.
You're like, I'm not fucking touching that. I'm not swimming out there. Kiss my ass. Why are the
kids getting in the water this year? I don't understand. But for me, it was the last one.
Which
for me, it was the last, the Hitchhiker.
Oh, yeah, the Hitchhiker. Yeah, thanks for the ride, lady.
Thanks for the ride, lady. That's
a good one.
Terrifying.
Oh, the idea of basically like a Jason Voorhees hitchhiker that just won't die.
Yeah. How many times did she like run over that guy too? And he just kept coming, waving his sign, and just it was so disturbing. And then when he gets close, and I'm just
and he's all messed up.
Again. And,
What's funny is I think the one that disturbed me the most of the creep shows was actually, I think it's the last story in the first one where the bugs sneak into the guy who has the perfect clean apartment. Like everything in his apartment is like sterile. It's like a doctor's office. And and then all of a sudden like insects start running in. And I think at the end of it ends up being that it was literally all in his head. Like he had just lost his mind from being trapped away for so long. But yeah, just the idea of just bugs coming into this clean, sterile room, and they're flowing out of his sink. They're coming out of his toilet. They're dropping out of the lights. And like they built this set and just flooded it with insects. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not scared, but the fucking heebie-jeebies, like, the creepy crawlies. That one got me.
There's so many different ways you can get scared. See, I wouldn't watch the Friday the 13th when I was young because it was like, that was what I considered the pinnacle. Like, I was never brave enough to watch it because that was probably the scariest thing on earth, especially the first one. It's so disturbingly done,
Oh, the first one's still a great film. I still love watching the original. Fucking Betsy Palmer's awesome. But yeah, I was trying to think back because Nightmare on Elm Street 1 was the first one that kind of really got me into horror films. American Woman was the first one I saw, but I remember the first Friday the 13th I actually saw, I believe, was 3, because my babysitter's brother took us to a drive-in one time, and it was a double feature of No Retreat, No Surrender. Von Damme's first American movie where he played the Russian bad guy.
Yeah.
And then the kid gets trained by Bruce Lee's ghost, followed by Friday the 13th in 3D. Because Friday the 13th 3 was in 3D. And that's the origin movie of the hockey mask. Because at the end of 2 and the start of 3, he's still wearing the potato sack on his head. And then the jokester kid that goes out to the camp that year brings a hockey mask and a fucking a harpoon gun to play a trick on somebody. And of course, he ends up, I think, eating that harpoon gun, and then Jason takes his mask, and then he actually becomes what we know as Jason Voorhees.
That's pretty goddamn crazy when you think about it. When you think about that iconic hockey mask.
It wasn't until the 3rd film.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't even the killer. He didn't exist really in the first one, not the way we know him. He was a dead child. In the second one, he's basically like the world's worst inbred hillbilly redneck, scare creature that's just living off in the woods by himself with a potato sack on his head.
Gone bad, It's like
basically, he's a super strong, mongoloid, and then it's not until I think it's over halfway through the 3rd film he actually gets the hockey mask.
That's
and you say Jason now, and everybody instantly pictures a fucking hockey mask and a machete.
Oh yeah.
None of that shit showed up till the 3rd film. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's impressive. So if you say that a horror movie is designed to scare, Gremlins is a horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a scary movie as much as it was fun because it was that safe scare. It wasn't grotesque, even though you had the blender moments, or was it the microwave moment? Like when that was
there was a microwave in the first one.
The scariest part of Gremlins was the mother alone in the house when she's got.
I don't know, when fucking Phoebe Cates tells that story, like, it is fucking creepy. When she talks about her dad falling down the chimney and like basically breaking his neck and dying. Like, I rewatched it just a couple of years ago, and it was like, because it was like, oh, it's Christmas time. I was like, oh, I gotta watch Gremlins. Like, I
it's
just
my Christmas
Gremlins
movie.
on DVD. Yeah,
every Christmas Eve. Yeah.
I got the 3 Christmas movies. It's fucking Gremlins, Lethal Weapon, and Die Hard. And then A Christmas Story is my actual Christmas movie. But like those 3 films, like those mean Christmas to me. Like when I was growing up. Yeah, but freaking Gremlins scared the fuck out of people. And like, I mean, you think about Mogwais and the little soft, Gizmo being all cuddly and stuff. It's like, no, those other little fuckers were terrifying when you're little. You rewatch that movie now, it's like, wow, I like this as a kid, and it's fucking creepy.
Oh yeah, man, it's still a hardcore done.
The other one that got me was The Dark Crystal. Have you rewatched that as an adult?
Oh, many times, man. The Skeksis are terrifying.
The Skeksis,
are you kidding?
And they're the
Gallifling!
The black, they're armored fucking beetle scarab dudes. Those are fucking creepy.
Oh, dude.
Those are
yeah.
unbelievable with their little feet.
Well, even the witch with the eye, and what was her name?
Yeah.
Mrs. Marble or Magdalene or something. But
Yeah,
yeah,
she's funky.
dude,
But
look
yeah,
what
like
they did
even
to the
that movie,
Wizard
like
of Oz.
there's some terrifying shit in there.
You've seen Return to Oz, yeah?
That's the one with Veruja Bulk, right?
Yeah. And she's like
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah.
That movie's
Yeah, I
disturbing.
just finally
as shit.
saw that. Oh, definitely disturbing.
It starts off with Dorothy getting electroshock therapy and like in a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
That's totally terrifying. So one thing I noticed was because of the way there's one unfortunate thing, and it's only unfortunate for our generation because it's a nostalgic thing, is on television now. Because our kids are going to grow up not understanding seasonal TV specials. Because anything can be streamed or watched at any time, so there's no big deal about it.
Not as much, but I think there's still like the ebb and flow of the Netflix queue. Like when it comes around Christmas time, they drop in that bar that's all the Christmas movies, and they upload a lot of stuff. It won't be the same. But there's gonna be a version of it.
You're also talking about your glorious American Netflix. Our Canadian one doesn't exactly these fucking miraculous things. But either way, yesterday's Monday, right? As we record this, it's Tuesday. Oh wait, this is live. Cool. I forgot it was live for a minute. We had 3 viewers. We're back down to 1. I hope it's that first viewer, and you're just being loyal, and that's awesome. We thank you.
That viewer rocks.
I think that Monday.
We love you, viewer.
I literally expected Monday night for there to. Oh, it just went up to 2. Oh, and back down to 1. Just doing videos of viewer count. Monday night, I was expecting to sit down because with Halloween being miraculously on a Saturday this year, I figured you'd get a week straight, at least 1 week of some Halloween specials. And I couldn't find nothing. I couldn't find Garfield. I couldn't find the Great Pumpkin. I mean, it's like I remember there used to be tons of them. There used to be like things specifically made for Halloween. Like, do you remember The Wonderful World of Disney's Mr. Boogedy? The classic Mr. Boogedy.
I think maybe I saw that once or twice when I was little.
Josh didn't remember this the other night when I was talking to him on 2J's either, but Mr. Boogedy was a fantastic movie made back in the 80s for Wonderful World of Disney. David Faustino was the kid in it, and it was about this family of jokers, and they ran like a practical joke shop, and they buy this new house, and it's haunted by the spirit of Mr. Boogedy. Boogedy, boogedy, boo! Just a fun ghost story for kids, and I loved it. It was fantastic, and they made that stuff specifically for that good time, and that doesn't really happen now. Like even the sitcoms, you used to expect a Christmas or a Halloween special episode every
That's
year.
Very true. Yeah,
on your popular sitcoms, right?
Yeah, most of them would do well because you always had like Simpsons. You had the Treehouse of Horror. I think that's really the only show that still does anything like that.
And I think
where you know that it's going to happen annually.
Right. I think they dropped Treehouse this year, I heard, or something like that.
It's just like the Simpsons Halloween horror episode?
Yeah, something like that, which is, extremely disappointing. But I guess they've done like 20 of them. So
I was going to say, even then, they did 25 in a row. Good on them. Yeah. Fucking Simpsons, man. You can't kill it.
But I'm going to have to do that, But it's also hard passing on stuff, I've been finding, to kids nowadays, because our animation wasn't so advanced in the 80s that we couldn't watch younger stuff. Like we also watched like Rocket Robin Hood, you know what I mean, and Hercules, like that style stuff was also mixed in and peppered in with what we watched. My kid wouldn't give that a minute. He couldn't bear through an episode of Hercules whatsoever nowadays, because he'd just be like, what are these stick figures moving around? Like used to like CG 3D like versions of like the new Inspector Gadget. Have you seen that?
No.
It's like done like 3G styles and stuff. It's just like the old show. It's actually really faithful. It's basically a 3D version of the old show.
Nice.
Yeah, but that's how they do everything nowadays. So
it's all that 3D rendering.
I'm wondering about Peanuts. Like, did you see the Peanuts trailer?
No, because I don't think I want to.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I think they're gonna pull a Muppets on that first, the Muppets movie that Jason Segel did there, and how fun that was and nostalgic. This feels like the same deal, man. It feels fantastic.
Nice.
Like, yeah,
Maybe I'll have to
totally.
go watch the trailer then. Because, yeah, I was like, ooh, Peanuts, really?
Yeah, no,
Eh.
man. They're pretty good about it. I mean, they show a whole scene with Snoopy doing the Red Baron thing. It looks great. It's like,
Nice.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. But my kid will probably watch that. But I don't know if he would sit through the Great Pumpkin.
Yeah, because, I mean, some of those old ones, it's like, I don't know, I think it depends on the kid's age and the story, not so much the animation. If the story's good enough, because, like, I'll still sit down and watch fucking, Hermie the Dentist. Fucking,
Really?
and, the toys from the Island of the Misfit Toys.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's some crap claymation. Like, it's not good,
Yeah.
but it's an awesome fucking Christmas movie.
Yeah.
He's a little Rudolph, little Santa, little, Frosty the Snowman. Like, that's just some classic shit. And it's not great, claymation. Or, like, even the original Grinch. I still like watching that.
That's okay. I don't think we realized, man. These are cartoons from, like, the 60s.
Yeah.
And
a lot of the ones that we were watching were already way traditional by the time they got around to us.
Yeah, Christmas is still pretty good. You'll still see Rudolph and stuff, but
yeah.
But I don't know.
Well, you still got people that are rocking, It's a Wonderful Life, and that's like their family Christmas movie that they watch every year.
Yeah.
And my house is more likely it's going to be A Christmas Story and Christmas Vacation, because that's all I really need.
That's what my lady, my sugar mom, is all about. The Christmas can't pass without a good Christmas vacation viewing.
Oh hell yeah, yeah! So, you got to have yourself some some young, not quite batshit crazy Chevy Chase.
Did you ever see the new one, the new Vacation?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I figure that's what I'll catch on Netflix.
Looked good though, So
it looked all right.
So
like grown up Rusty, yeah.
One thing good though about Netflix in Canada, which we just got to touch on, is that it was announced yesterday or something that Netflix Canada will be streaming Star Wars: The Force Awakens 8 months after it is released.
Nice.
And the U.S. Netflix will not.
Well, then that will be the one time when we go in and change our ISP and make it look like we live in Canada.
Nice. I'm always scared to do that, man. People yell at me to do
that. I got my lower third back.
Nice. People always yell at me to do that, change my IP, but I'm too scared to because I feel like it's going to mess up on something else. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
From what I've heard, I mean, from many people that do it, I'm pretty sure you can probably get away with it. There's something you really, really want to watch.
I mean, I was just over in Michigan and I was watching a bit of it, and I can't even believe, like, we probably don't even have a third of what you guys have.
And this now, like, this is your guys' new, better version, right? Because it used to be awful, and then they kind of upgraded it, right?
Yeah, it's good enough now that there's more stuff on it, but yeah, man, it's totally awful. So, are you up on your Walking Dead?
No, I actually just finished not the season that's live now, but the last year.
I know you're catching up, so
yeah, it dropped on Netflix, and so I watched everything up to the end of last season. So I've seen that they got to the town, they're behind the wall, blah 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 blah.
So you're only like the three new episodes behind that.
Yeah. All I haven't seen is just this season that just started.
Now, was yesterday's spoiled for you yet?
No, I haven't heard nothing.
Oh, good. Then we won't talk about it because, well, the internet learned a lesson. There was a big spoiler that went out yesterday, and literally the next day, I saw people posting statuses apologizing and like heartfeltly apologizing for doing this to people because it was a horrible thing to spoil.
Oh, yeah.
And then today, there was a movement started by Star Wars fans to promise and pledge that they will not say a damn thing about The Force Awakens for at least 1 week after it's released.
Nice. Yeah, because I'm afraid, like, if I don't go see Star Wars Thursday night, I'm going to find out who dies. It's like, goddamn, I have to avoid some internet because, man, I want to go into Star Wars. Like, it's one of those things, like, the trailer and everything. We have all this merchandise and all the comics and everything, but we're still going into the movie not really knowing much. Like, plot-wise, yeah. Like, the trailers aren't giving us storyline. It's giving us characters. That's it. And so, I mean, I want to go in not knowing, as much as possible on Star Wars.
I think you're pretty set, but I think you do. I think it's kind of a given that in certain ways they are going to mirror the first trilogy.
Well, yeah, as they should.
I think it's pretty obvious that Daisy Ridley's character of Ray is going to be more the main character than Finn, even. But
Yeah, see, I keep hearing different theories for one or the other. But I think either way, yeah, either Finn or Daisy. I mean, either one, I think will make a good Luke type character to see what they do with him.
I think Finn might actually end up being more the Han Solo of it all.
Be the warrior.
Yeah, or just kind of more the smooth sidekick type thing, because I don't know if they're both force sensitive, but again, these are things that will be answered in less than 2 months.
Yep, it is coming.
2 months. It's blowing my mind that it's actually happening. So, so do you just stick to like 80s horror movies, or are there still ones coming out that you appreciate? Like, were you one of those like guys who like with the reemergence of Saw and all that kind of thing?
Well, see, like I love the first Saw film. I own the whole box set on Blu-ray, and I love the first Saw film because honestly, it was two guys sat down and said, "Okay, we're going to do a movie. What's the cheapest movie? 2 people in a room. Why are they in the room?" And from that concept, they said, "Okay, they both wake up in the room, and they don't know how they got there, and there's a dead body in the room with them, and the door's locked." And then, like, they literally went forward with that and wrote the entire first Saw movie and did it on the cheap. The two guys that did that first Saw movie, like, they're geniuses. Then it ended up becoming what, slowly turned into the torture porn genre. But I still loved the rest of them because the storyline got convoluted and crazy. But the props guys had to think of different ways for people to kill themselves on these sound stages in ways that Jigsaw could say, "I did this to you. Now, if you want to live, all you got to do is, lose your hand, or stab yourself in the eye, or do something else fucking crazy." But, like, just the props and stuff they kept coming up with, like, genius people worked on those films. So, I mean, yeah, no, those I definitely loved. I had a friend that used to be our annual thing. Every Halloween, we went out and saw the new Saw film in the theaters. I was a little sad when they stopped making them.
What did they get up to, like 17 or something?
6. I believe it's either 6 or 7.
What's
What's
Jason at? That's at least 12, isn't
12.
it?
There have technically been 12 Jason films because there's Friday 13th. Well, if you count the end sequence where he's in the last scene of Part 1, there were Friday 13th 1 through Jason X, which was Friday 13th 10. Because it was actually Friday 13th Part 9, Jason Goes to Hell, is the last technical Friday the 13th.
When did he go to space?
That's Jason X, so that's the 10th film. Then you get Freddy vs. Jason, that's the 11th. And then the new remake from Platinum Dunes, Friday the 13th, is the 12th film. So technically, if they do another Friday the 13th film, it would be the 13th Friday the 13th film.
So isn't the new one they made, right? Isn't that more of a remake of Part 3 then? Because he's got his mask and everything in the remake. Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, I own it. It's got some good parts, some bad parts. Yeah, it's literally like the opening sequence is the mom getting her head chopped off, which is basically the whole first movie. They did that as the opening sequence for the Platinum Dunes Friday the 13th.
Nice.
And then he goes from kind of a potato sack to a hockey mask inside of the first, I think, maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
So they basically pulled the Topher Grace on it. And
cut it down, condensed it, kind of move things along. Which, I mean, yeah, it had some good parts in it. I mean, still, I'm one of those people, if it's not Kane Hodder behind the mask, it's not really Jason.
Well, how many did he do?
He did 3. And he's the only actor who's ever done it more than once. And Ken Kersinger, or maybe Kersinger did 2. But I think he was the one that was in Platinum Dunes, and there was another guy that was Freddy vs. Jason. Like, they both did good jobs after Kane Hodder. But, I mean, yeah, Kane Hodder did... Because he did Jason Takes Manhattan, Jason Goes to Hell,
Jason
X. So yeah, he did 8, 9, and 10, or maybe it was 7, 8, 9, and 10. He might have done 4 in a row. But yeah, as far as I know, he's the only actor that ever played the role more than once, and he was really like, I mean, by the time Jason X comes around, like he had a full blown like physical personality in place when he put that mask on, to where he just moved, and it was fucking Jason Voorhees. Yeah. Like he didn't have to do anything. It was just him standing there breathing. And he was the character. The way that, nobody can put on the makeup and be Freddy Krueger other than Robert Englund. They've tried it, and it doesn't fucking work. If it's not Robert Englund, it's not Freddy Krueger.
I think you could get another one, but it would have to be very Englund-esque. Like
see,
Like I loved, like I liked the other one, and I love what's his name.
Yeah, Jackie Earle Haley did a good job,
Yeah, but
and
it's
the
not the
remake
same
had some
story.
cool ideas, like the micro nightmares, where
Yeah,
they're falling asleep for split seconds at a time, and he's coming at them through the store.
yeah,
Like there was
yeah,
some cool concepts in that movie, but yeah, it was one of those ones like I looked at it as like Jackie Earle Haley is set up to failure. There is no possible way for this film to succeed because they also went back to more of the original concept where he was a pederast and a child rapist
yeah.
before he was a child murderer, and which is something that they kind of got away from in the first film because I think it was as they were filming, or it was either in filming or post production. There was a massive national outrage because of a school where they'd found out a bunch of teachers had been molesting the children. And so New Line kind of recut the film, I think, with Wes Craven to say, okay, we're going to pull back on the child molestation part of the character, and then make it more about him being a child murderer, and just kind of focus on that. Which I mean, not like it makes him a better person. Like, he's still fucking
Yeah,
Freddy Krueger.
sure. Yeah, yeah. But like Freddy versus Jason, that almost feels like it falls into that action category. Like that's not a scary movie, you know? Like
Yeah, I mean, there
I
was
think
probably
some
some
of the
12-year-olds that were a little scared watching it, during some of the sequences, but that was a movie made for people like me to just fucking rock out and go, fucking Freddy versus
oh yeah, I
Jason,
loved
man,
it. Don't get
yeah!
me wrong. Yeah, that was an absolute party, and it was
It
very
was
well
so much
cast.
fun.
Yeah, but what's the? It's oh, what was I gonna say about it? I just totally blanked out there. But yeah, it was more fun and adventure, and like they even reused. Oh yeah, they reused the one gag where the guy's veins get pulled out, and Freddy uses him like a marionette.
Yeah, which
Like,
the death in Part 3, Dream Warriors, is still one of the coolest deaths ever when he
why do you
turns
think
the
they
other.
redid it? Because it was so cool, like an
Because it was
homage
so
type thing.
cool. Yeah, it was kind of an
Yeah.
homage. Like, hey, check this out. We saw this too. We loved it when we were growing up, and we're gonna kind of redo this. Yeah,
Yeah.
which I mean, Freddy vs. Jason was filled with a lot of that stuff. There's a lot of kills that are references to kills in both of the old movies. So yeah, I mean that one was
Okay.
it was just a fun fest. That was just a bunch of people that loved those characters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is one of the most uncastable, recastable things. They announced today.
Yeah.
Frank Marshall, one of the producers for Indiana Jones, he said there's no way they're going to pull a Bond and recast that role.
Oh yeah, so they're not gonna do it, huh?
Which I think A is naive. I think eventually they're going to because they won't let that money machine die once Harrison Ford does.
Well, I'm thinking, yeah, because now Disney owns it, right?
Well, how do you get away with this, man? Like, how do you do it with him again? He was on shaky legs in the last one. Like,
Oh, and the last one wasn't good. I mean, you have
yeah.
well, I guess you would call it what, episode 4 deniers? Like, there are people that still claim there are only 3 Indiana Jones films, and I'm one of them.
Well, yeah, like a lot of people put it on Lucas too for like a horrible story, but I'm sorry, Spielberg wasn't exactly on his game making that movie either. Like the CG was horrible.
Yeah, there was a whole lot of failures
Yeah,
involved in that one,
like the second,
including Shia LaBeouf planned to play James Dean. What the
yeah, when he
fuck?
throws him the snake to get out of the quicksand. And he's just like, call it snakes. Say, grab the rope. Grab the rope. It's just like, no, man. This is, I don't know. It broke my heart. I think pass
Yeah.
that on. That's a character that deserves to continue. And what, like, really, a guy like Chris Pratt doesn't deserve it? Like,
I was gonna say, yeah, we've all seen the Photoshop versions of it, and we all know after seeing Guardians, and especially after seeing Jurassic World, Chris Pratt could rock a fucking Indiana Jones trilogy quick as shit, and it would be awesome.
he wouldn't be my first choice. I'm sure he'd do great, but I think he's a little too funny. He's a little too wise guy. There's something about Indy that's
Yeah, a little
very,
musty
very,
librarian.
yeah, very manly, musty librarian too. Like that's one thing. It's hard to replace an actor like Harrison Ford who does just ooze manliness. Like
Yeah.
he's a dude. Like you can just tell looking at him that he likes to bang nails into wood. Like
Well, yeah, it's one of those things where I've heard it been talked about on other podcasts. They talk about movies like we don't have those, like the male action hero. Like we're not getting those the way they used to in the 70s and 80s. Where's our fucking Clint Eastwood these days?
yeah,
Like I
yeah,
think the last real big one is Statham. Jason Statham came out as an action star.
yeah.
He did a couple movies like Snatch and stuff where he wasn't really fighting the whole time. But I mean, like Statham's one of the last people to like actually just come out and have a career based almost solely on being an action star and just doing movies where he beats people up.
Yeah,
like
and
we
he's
don't
better
have
than
those
that too. Like he's so good in Snatch, it's crazy. And
Oh yeah, and he's a great actor. But yeah, it's one of those things. It's like we don't really see that as often anymore. And I think also, I mean, part of that is sometimes when we're getting really good films, we're not getting a series of 5 films in a row where it's just a random cop beating people up. And
you're not getting these actors who. You're not getting a lot of these actors who, like a lot of those guys, had to work for it first. These are guys who actually worked in some sort of laborious industry and, learned to be a man before they became an actor. And now it's people pour their entire whatever into the craft or whatever.
Yeah, they're coming out of high school and college with degrees in drama and then going to Hollywood.
Like Statham's a soccer player, right? Like
him. Vinny Jones was a soccer player. Mr. T was a bouncer at a bar. No, he fucking beat people up. That was his job.
I still like the idea. I still like McConaughey, man. I think McConaughey could fill that hat as well. I really do.
Oh, McConaughey as a Indiana Jones.
Yeah, especially now at the point he's at. He's not too old. He's not. I was gonna say,
did they try that with the 3 Dirk Pitt films that he made with Sahara and the other one or whatever?
Dirk Pitt.
Yeah, because Dirk Pitt is the character that he played in Sahara. I remember I had a buddy in the Navy who read all the Dirk Pitt novels, and it was kind of like a more espionage version of Indiana Jones.
Okay, I don't even think I got through Sahara, so, but I think Chris Pratt's a bit young. I think he's a tad young for it. I think you need more of a McConaughey, more of a grown into himself guy. Like, I'm not sure how old Harrison Ford was, but I'm pretty sure he was at least in his mid-30s to 40, no?
Well, I'm pretty sure they said in the photo the awesome thing was at the end when Chris Pratt was doing the promotional tour for Guardians of the Galaxy, people kept asking if he realized he was at the same age then that Harrison Ford was when he did the first Indiana Jones.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting, man. That's cool when that stuff happens. Like Mark Hamill's the same age Obi-Wan was.
Yeah, which is it's just perfect that quite literally the apprentice has become the master.
Oh man,
the fucking young Padawan from the first Star Wars film we all saw is now the Jedi Master.
And all
with
the talk
beard and the robe.
He's not around. He's not in the poster. He's there's a very.
Well, we know he's in there somewhere. We just don't know where or as what.
Yeah, they'll find him at the end. The whole thing. It's pretty obvious that the movie's going to be a journey to find Luke, and then they'll find Luke, and then we'll see what happens in the next one. And the next one will probably have some sort of "I am your father" type moment.
Oh yeah, the second one's going to have the twist, and possibly the ending where it seems like the bad guys are winning. And then the third movie will be the full tilt end of the story and redemption.
And we're gonna get a prequel before we even get another one, which is funny because we're getting another Star Wars prequel.
Well, we're gonna see all those people that died to get the Death Star plans.
Yeah, that's a fantastic idea, man.
Now, see in the new poster, we have a feeling that there's apparently a new Death Star.
Well, the Starkiller base, yeah, it's. I think that's actually a planet that's got that kind of trench on it.
That just has a gigantic base built into it.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. There's a few things about this movie that bother me. That because I mean, as you know, I'm a bit of a prequel apologist. I love my Jedi, and in this movie, there's going to be a few things that are like, who the hell are the Knights of Ren? Where the hell did this Ren thing come from? Like,
he's just a kid that likes Darth Vader the way you like Jedi.
Okay, cool. So where did he? I want to know, and I doubt they're going to tell me where he gets the information on how to build that goddamn lightsaber.
Well, from what I've heard, the rumor being that he basically just kind of made it up and tried different things from whatever information he could piece together, and that's why you get the cross guard, is because his lightsaber is imperfect and it's not done correctly, and so that's why you basically have those 2 flares of energy coming out the side. Because it's literally he built it himself, not having any training.
Yeah. I wonder if
to me that makes sense.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Because I mean, there's emitters for those 2 side things, so that tells me they're intentional. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but maybe it's just he had to put a cross guard there because his skills aren't that good because there was no one to teach him how to use the damn thing, right?
Could be that too. Yeah, I mean, if you're apprenticing to a job when there's nobody there to teach you how to do it, it's got to be a hell of a lot harder to learn the job.
Yeah, yeah. Here, hold on a sec. I'll introduce you to something.
All right.
Okay.
I believe he's going to get number 78.
All right, number 78.
Oh, I called it.
There
I
it is.
said I believe he's going to get number 78. I even had the number right.
It's one of the blade builder ones, so it came with a little tinier blade that comes on the bottom.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. It's a fun little toy, and it's got this effect. Like, even though this is the cheaper toy version, not like the master replica or anything, look how cobbled together it looks. Like, there's wires on the outside. Like,
Nice.
That's how bad you were at making your lightsaber, that you have a wire on the outside. You know, and it's totally. It looks. It's the most like raggedy thrown together designed lightsaber I've ever seen. You know, like they were really going for like this was an old piece of something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that's the whole point with his character is just kind of putting together the past of Darth Vader.
Yeah. I wonder if we're gonna. I wonder if we'll see when he goes and gets the mask. Like, will we see Endor? Little Ewoks running around in the background.
I don't know. Ewoks don't have quite Jar Jar backlash, but they're not exactly fan favorites.
Because I mean, that helmet, that funeral pyre must have been sitting there for years enough for this guy to grow up and go find it, right?
Yeah, and then it would have taken him a while to figure out. Okay, when did Vader die? Where? What planet would he been? You know, if there's anything left, where would I go look for it?
Yeah. Because it's interesting how much they're adding to the core of the story. Like, you know, the new Shattered Empire comic?
No, I mean, I've seen it, but I haven't read it.
It's really cool. It starts out during the Battle of Yavin and basically follows the story of Green Squadron. Right?
Nice.
Yeah. So, and they're there and they're on Endor celebrating with the rest of the rebellion when everything goes down. But then somebody runs in and says there's an Imperial holdout behind some moon or some shit. And that's kind of how the story takes off. And right away, Han, who's at, you know, literally the end of Return of the Jedi movie, and they're celebrating. And then Han's like, well, I guess we better keep on going. And they all get in their ships and take off. So it completely doesn't end there. Like, you know, they're adding so much thickness to it, which I love. But, you know, they're also going crazy, like giving Han Solo an ex-wife and stuff, or wife, so...
Yeah, I did read an article on that. I thought that was pretty funny, the idea that Han's got a previous lady, and then she shows up and says, that's my husband. What? Yeah, no, weirdly enough, the only Star Wars comic I'm reading is Kanan, The Last Padawan.
Oh, nice. It's a good one, too. That's a fun one.
Which, I'm enjoying that one, which is funny, too, because I still haven't finished Clone Wars, so I haven't even started watching Rebels yet.
Rebels is really good, man. Rebels grew on me real quick, and
I saw the pilot, and I think I've seen 2 episodes since. Like, it's fun. I like it. But I need to get done with Clone Wars.
It's a very, very perfect blend and like bridging of the Clone Wars era into the new one. Like, there's a lot of both. You know, even putting Ahsoka in there and some of the clones, but you know, just the look of it, as far as like the ships and stuff. Like, you'll see downed clone trooper ships.
Nice.
You know, so it's the one piece of Star Wars that's got the most of both trilogies in it, I find, which I really, really enjoy that aspect of it, you know, because who knows, like, although you saw the picture of Luke that got revealed, yeah?
I'm not sure.
In his Jedi robes for the new movie.
Oh yeah, I did see that one. Yeah, and you could actually he had the whole beard going on and stuff.
Yeah, and it was very Old Republic looking, like long Jedi. He didn't look like a bum. He was wearing long Jedi robes, and he had the whole Jedi symbol. But here's the thing, I think perhaps potential costume change, because you know how we see him and he puts his hand on R2. It's
still the assumption that that's him.
That's him.
Well, we see a robed figure put a robotic hand on R2-D2.
Yeah, that's him. And I think maybe he cleans up in the end. Maybe they convince him to, like, you know, take your rags off, put some good Jedi robes on, and
So you think he's out living in the wilderness, Obi-Wan, old Ben Kenobi style?
He has to be. I think he might have an apprentice.
Duke Starkiller is living out in the desert.
Nice. I think he might have an apprentice that he's training or something. But I just hope he's kind of whacked. I hope he is kind of out there. You know what I mean? I hope his marbles aren't totally straight, because that'll just be fun. You know?
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just crazy old man Luke living out in the desert.
Nice. I can't wait to hear his turn in the Killing Joke, though, when it comes, man.
Oh, I'm so stoked for that. The idea that they're, gonna shoot for an R-rated DC film, because their cartoons have been vicious anyways.
Yeah. Well, they're not shooting for it. They just don't mind if they get it.
Which means they have to do it, because if they don't, too many people would be disappointed.
Oh, yeah, man. Son of Batman turned a corner, man. When Son of Batman came out, it was the first time I've had to turn off a DC animated feature.
Yeah.
And my 4-year-old was watching it, and I went, yeah, arrows through the throats. No, we're not going to go that far. And I actually had to turn it off. Oh, dude, when the first 5 minutes when they attack Ra's al Ghul's place, like.
Oh, dude, you want a sneak peek of something?
Sure.
There's the camera at.
You got to talk.
Those are the side pockets to my pants that I'll be getting on Friday. That's my Captain America Age of Ultron costume.
Oh,
that's being made right now.
Oh.
My buddy and seamstress Elizabeth Edwards, who fucking rocks. Liz is tailoring and clothing, tailoring and sewing.
Right on.
I gotta get the name of her business down, because I gotta do the logo for it too.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
But yeah, like she's already did like the top piece, the under piece, done all the ribbing for the stomach. And then, yeah, I just put the gloss coat on the shield today. Got to put a little the JB weld on for the star, and it's done.
Nice. That's why you've been working out so hard, so you're getting Captain America Halloween. I must cosplay.
Yep.
Halloween's coming.
Damn right. Yeah, since July 1st, man, straight working out. Oh, I'm so ready to not be doing this 6 days. 6 days a week is just tough.
It is tough.
It's tiring.
When are you gonna scale it back a bit? Like, what is the goal?
Literally Saturday. Like I'm working out until Friday. Yeah, I'll probably get up and work out Saturday, but I'm not gonna do what I've been doing. So yeah, no. After this week, this is week 18 of Captain America training. Damn. Literally, it's been since July 1st. So yeah, it's every week, and yeah, I got up to 6 days a week. I think I want to say about 6 weeks ago. I've been doing 6 days a week. So I work out every day but Sunday. And yeah, so that stops this Saturday. And I'm probably going to take most of next week off.
That is crazy, man. All power to you. It's a great routine. You're probably a hell of a lot healthier for it.
Oh, yeah. It's been working. Yeah, I added an inch to each thigh and took 3 inches off my gut. So
nice.
It's good stuff.
Well, it's hard when you're working out because, were you doing much cardio?
No, hardly any.
So you're basically returning fat into muscle. You weren't just trying to strip it. So it's not necessarily about the weight loss. Yeah.
Yeah, my weight actually, it fluctuated, but honestly, it bounced between 230 and 240 the whole time, and I'm right back to around 233, which is pretty much the weight I started at. But yeah, my gut is 3 inches smaller, so I'm definitely not. I don't have the fat index that I had.
But you're a bit of a tall fucker, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm 6'1".
Yeah. So you're up there, you know.
Yeah, 230 isn't bad for my height. But yeah, there's still a little bit more to lose, but yeah, I'm stoked. Friday's almost here. I get to put my costume on. Walk around work carrying a shield.
I think I'm gonna do the Joker again. I did it a few years ago, but just because my kid's being Batman. I feel like I should match that up. I thought about being Robin, but I just didn't want to put the effort into a costume. That would have been pretty cool. But I hope he's at the age soon where he's a little more cooperative with doing shared costumes. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because right now it's just no. He picked Batman months ago, right?
Yeah.
It was July. He's like, Dad, I'm Batman for Halloween. I was like, all right. And it's happened. It's weird how kids will do that too at that age.
Have you had the year yet where you're Batman and he's Robin?
Well, I wanted to do that, but I guess it'd be funnier if it was the other way around. Yeah.
It would be funnier. I remember I saw a picture on Facebook that somebody posted. Literally, it was a dad and a kid, and like it looked like Batman and Son of the Bat because it was a Damien-sized kid, and it's like,
yeah.
ladies, just don't even front. He's been planning this since you said he was having a boy. Like it's a guarantee.
Well, don't get me wrong, man. The second he's 10 years old, he has no choice. That's the one Halloween I'm going to take from my boy. I'm going to be like,
That's the one year. It's like, no, this
you're
year
10
you're
years
bombing.
old. You are the boy wonder this year, and we'll make it a cool one. We'll give you the hood and the stuff.
No. Green hot pants, pixie boots, and you rock a straight Adam West.
Yeah, just get his
old school gray.
That perfect comb to the side hair, like
there you go.
It's like Lego hair. No one ever had better Lego hair than '60s Dick Grayson, man.
That's true.
Yeah, it was.
You could launch cars off that shit. Like it was sturdy. That would be so messed up though to tell me he has to do the old fucking little like Speedo and pixie boots. That's just mean.
That would be mean. But yeah, that's the year I'm taking it from. I'm gonna be like, boy, this one's mine.
You're 10, you're double digits, here's your bow staff and your hood.
Nice. It's approaching the midnight hour here in Canada. So as we wind this down, let's take care of a little bit of business, Mr. Bachman.
Indeed.
There is an event that's going to be taking place, of which An Elegant Weapon is the official podcast of this event. This event is it's a Pints and Pages, and it's happening at the Camera. I couldn't talk yesterday doing 2Js either. I mean, albeit, mind you, I was, baked off my face, but still, I just couldn't get words out. I kept stumbling. Well, anyways, this is going to be happening at the Cameron House, which is downtown Toronto. It's 408 Queen Street West. It's happening on November 14th and 15th, and it's from 3 to 7 p.m. And what it is, basically, is you come along, and some of the GTA's coolest new independent comic book creators are going to be there. And they're going to be hanging out, and they're going to be drawing and talking, lending tips, lending advice, lending laughs, and having a good old time. So basically, it's a chance just to meet up and see what's going on in the scene and meet some of these cool people. People like A. Shehan, people like Sean Daly, Shane Amato, and Ricky Lima, the Black Hole Hunters Club boys. So come on out, because I'm going to be there. An Elegant Weapon will be podcasting the event, and it should be good times. So if you're in downtown Toronto on the 14th or 15th of November, you should come and see what Tio's got going on, because it's going to be super duper cool. I wanted to give out a congratulations to Mr. Josh Dahl and Mr. Sean Langley on the full fundage of Rapid City Below Zero.
Nice.
Very, very well done. They had a great campaign. They were on top of it the whole way. Josh recently was on an episode like 3 episodes ago or something like that, so you can go back and meet Josh. We're going to get both of those guys back on soon so they can both talk about it. And also, Mr. Langley is quite the Whovian. I had him on the show, and I didn't realize until talking to him in the last 5 minutes what a Whovian he was. So we're going to have to sit down and have that conversation, because Doctor Who is killing it. Capaldi is killing it. The first season had me a little worried about where they were going, but now that they've got all the silliness hashed out, it is great. It is its own thing. It's built yet again. They've managed to pull off a doctor who's doing his own complete thing. You know what I mean? And
nice.
It's beautiful. It's really, really cool stuff. Other than that, I don't think there's too much going on. Star Wars coming soon.
Indeed.
Hopefully, we got to get back on the CMYK tip too.
Indeed, yeah, we got to get that going again, because Flash has been killing it. Arrow's been fun, and I checked Hulu. There was no Supergirl from last night, so I haven't seen that yet.
I watched that like 2 weeks ago. I downloaded the pilot, and I'm not sure how I did that, but I did, and it was all right. It was good.
Yeah, I heard it was up. Was it a fully finished pilot, or was it like previs or?
No, it was fully first episode, fully done, and it was good. It was cool for what they're going for. For what they're going for, it was excellent. But dude, I'm not feeling Arrow, man. I'm not feeling it, because it's, I don't know. Maybe I just fucking hate Laurel.
Could be. She's been kind of involved so far. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the fact. Yeah, we got another episode with freaking the new Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
With freaking the captain himself coming
It's
back
always
and
fun
kicking
to see
ass.
Barrowman. Yeah, man.
Yeah, he's always awesome. And then I like the fact that it's not morose crybaby Ollie anymore. Like he's actually trying to like enjoy parts of his life. He's trying to have fun. I like seeing like the way Amel is playing it, where he's almost struggling with the idea of enjoying himself and trying to like come to terms with it. I like that.
It's definitely more in tone with the character of the comic book.
Definitely, yeah. They're definitely closer, to any of the Green Arrow books I ever read.
I think it's more just there's too many. Flash, it kind of makes sense, and it's so much fun. You can forgive him for having like a 20-member team behind him, but Arrow doesn't quite work like that for me. I don't know. I think Arrow needs to be reined in a little bit as far as going too far.
Yeah.
I like the character development with Ollie. I like bringing him more about the fun-loving guy from the comics. But just the show itself, I don't think should try to be the Flash too hard. You know what I mean?
Well, and I think when everything splinters off for DC Legends of Tomorrow, when we see, at least 2 of the cast members of Flash are leaving, at least 1 of the cast members of Arrow are leaving to go to that show, I think we're going to see a different version of both shows at that point. Well, yeah, it's funny. I heard actually people were complaining that, there's another speedster as the villain in the Flash. Fucking duh.
Yeah. But they have
give me another superpower. Give me another superpower that can really fuck with someone that can travel at the speed of light.
The Flash is stuck far more closely to the comic than Arrow ever even considered doing. Like Arrow had to steal from Batman to come up with a decent, big season. So it's not the same thing. They changed the whole Speedy Roy thing. They split them into 2 people.
Yeah. Well, they gave him a sister. I don't think Ollie ever had a sister.
No.
And his family was dead. Yeah. So I mean, that was a huge difference. Like, he had family in the show.
Yeah.
Like, that was very, very different from what was in the comics.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love Flash. It's my favorite thing each week.
And I'm loving Gotham this year. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I've been digging it.
Yeah.
Like, all the shit with Jerome was crazy.
Oh,
and freaking... Oh, yeah, Barbara's still batshit. And yeah, the stuff with young Bruce has been good. Yeah. Like that show's getting better and better. And I love it now. The Thing is in Gotham. The Thing is in Gotham and running the cops.
Oh yeah, Chickless.
Yeah, fucking Chickless, man. OG Thing.
Yeah, man. I really hope this thing lasts, man. Lasts. I want a payout at the end. I just want to see their. It's just got to end with a cape. It's got to end with a cape, man.
You think it'll be like Smallville 10 years down the line? He puts on the cape and cowl and steps out of the darkness for 1 shot, and then the show's over.
Well, thank God they finally did that for Smallville. I was iffy, They had the no flights and no tights rule for so long.
Well, yeah, but no, I think that was the plan the whole time. It was no flights, no tights, and then they're like, you know what? When we end the show, we'll kind of show him in the suit.
Yeah, but I think it was also a different time when it was like we were still.
We're
still writing off having to put the X-Men in leather, and nowadays people are happy to see them in blue and yellow. So it's Arrow came out right on the cusp of when it was changing, like right when Avengers and everything was changing. The whole idea of that you got to look more real life. That's when Arrow came out and had to suffer from that, and now. Yeah. But I love the fact that they had the balls to change it back to Star City as it should be, and
now he's got the new costume and it looks much more Green Arrow-ish.
I kind of liked the old costume. It's just the shoulder pads kind of bug me. The football shoulder pads he's got on.
Oh yeah,
but he is the Green Arrow at least again.
He's also a human. Like he doesn't have any superpowers, and he gets bounced off a lot of fucking rooftops in that show. He probably likes the armor.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Look at Amel and his stuntman, man. They go through some shit.
Oh yeah,
they're getting smacked around.
Well, he's a tough Canadian boy. He can take it. So
indeed,
it's all good.
His fucking workout is tough. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, have you tried it?
That Wind Rings one, I've been doing that every Thursday. I do 3 rounds of the 20 squat medicine ball tosses, 20 medicine ball touch the wall sprawls, 40 jump turning medicine ball lunges, followed by 20 regular lunges, still holding the medicine ball, and then put 20-pound weights in each hand, 20 punches forward, 20 punches up, 20 punches down.
Now,
and I go through that 3 times.
I'm surprised you don't kettlebell.
Oh, that's on different days. That's just Thursday for cardio.
Did you go to a gym, or you just been getting all the equipment?
Yeah, no, this is all stuff I own. I'll do this on my buddy's porch in his backyard.
Why not? Why your buddies? Is he like your workout partner?
Oh no, I live with a friend right now since I sold my house.
Oh, okay.
It's my roommate. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I thought you meant like you went to another dude's house where you don't live. And,
no,
like,
no, it's where I live.
For some reason, like.
Yeah, no, I just have a row of weights out on his porch. I got a 25 and a 50-pound kettlebell, pair of 10s, pair of 20s, a 25, pair of 30s, pair of 40s, and a couple of weights on an easy curl bar and a medicine ball. And then he actually built me a one of those boxes that people use to jump up on or do splits and split squats on.
Oh, what, a Van Damme box?
Yeah, but it's just one. So yeah, I'm not doing splits on it. I'm using it for the Captain America training. It's a squat to box jump. So you go down into a squat and then you jump up 20 inches onto a box.
Okay, right. So it's a step.
Yeah, basically. It's a big step. But yeah, my buddy built it. Fucking thing's sturdy as hell. Yeah, he's got a 240-pound person jumping up and down on it, and that damn thing hasn't budged yet. He did a good job.
That's awesome, man. Well, Anthony, thanks for hanging out, man. This
Hell yeah.
A fucking fun time chat.
Indeed.
Kids, you can find Anthony Bachman on Sunday mornings at 11 o'clock Eastern on All Things Good and Nerdy. That's on
9 Mountain.
9 Mountain.
Because nobody ever says it, and that's where I fucking live. 9 Mountain.
Because what are the odds that one of our 2 viewers at the moment is in Mountain Time?
I'll bet you one of them is. I'll bet you.
Could be. But yeah,
everybody thinks everything's on the East Coast time. Fuck y'all.
And you can watch that on YouTube Sunday mornings, and you can also check that out on iTunes and GonnaGeek.com. And are you still writing articles? Are you still doing Bachman's Best?
Yep, still doing Bachman's Best for GonnaGeek.com. Just falling a bit behind with between trying to do Inktober, prep the outfit, build the shield, and do 6 days a week workouts while still working. Everything else is kind of taking a hit. But yeah, all of that's almost done. So starting next month, I'm going to try to get back to a more normal schedule again.
Nice. Well, hopefully someday we get to hear the next element again, because that's always fun.
Indeed. I do miss it. More than likely, the next element will probably wait until I get a new place.
Yes. Well, it's best to get things sorted before you want to get into doing too much on your plate. But if you want to hear old episodes, they're all up there. You can go to pointsofinterestpodcast.com, and you can hit the next element link in the show menu, and it will take you to next element stuff.
Yep, big archive of me and my boy Colin chatting it up.
Good times. How is Colin? Is Colin well?
Yeah, he's doing pretty good. He got bumped up. He works downtown at our business office and seems to be enjoying it.
Ooh.
Got himself a new girlfriend since his divorce.
He's moving on up.
And I think he actually finally graduated college too. Finally finished off his degree. So
right.
He's doing some shit.
Congratulations, Colin. That is fantastic to hear. And other than that, don't forget to go and if you're a new person, go back, because this will get posted other than on the YouTube where it is right now, of course, at anelegantweapon.ca. But go back and please check out. I just had a great conversation with Miss Casey Pierce. She's an author from Michigan.
I was saying, and congratulations to Casey, because now she is an author from Michigan. It was kind of cool to hear she's writing comics now.
Absolutely. She's got upcoming project Nora with the one and only Sean Seal, and getting Sean Seal to come do your comic book is quite a thing, and she more than deserves it, and I can't wait to see what comes out of those 2 brains collaborating, because it's going to be interesting stuff, man.
Nice. Very
interesting stuff. But other than that, again, Anthony, thank you very much, my friend.
Indeed.
I got a little bit of a nightcap ready. So, kids, That's about it. That's all we're going to have this week on An Elegant Weapon. Take it easy.